I just saw Shazam. It was okay. Okay, so let me get this straight. Like, the character Shazam, I don't really know all too well. The only thing I've seen about this character is little things I've seen from the DC animated films, a little bit from the DC cartoons, and maybe here or there in the DC comic books. Basically, he's just the character of a kid named Billy Batson who turns into a 40-year-old version of himself whenever he yells out Shazam. He has the characteristics of Superman, meaning like basically with his powers, and that's all I know about the character. So walking into this film, I really didn't know what I was going in for other than this movie being a comedy. And it was really funny. Overall, the movie was just fine. It wasn't bad. Okay, let me just say all the positives here. I really liked the cast all around in this film. Zachary Levi really had whenever he was on screen, you could tell he had a lot of fun with the role. And it really shows whenever he's on screen. He was a very presentable superhero, and coming from a person who doesn't really know Shazam all too well, it made it very interesting to see him on screen. The kid from It who plays Freddy, his best friend, he's probably like my favorite character in the whole film. Now, before coming into this film, I thought, from what I've seen in the trailers and stuff, I thought he was going to be a little bit annoying since he's just a comic book fanboy, and I'm like, who really wants to see that, honestly?
Oh, shut up.
Mark Strong, as always, was menacing and very well acted. Though they do show you that he has some contempt for the way he was brought up. But over the course of the film, the only thing I could say is that kind of gets muddled throughout the story of the film with him becoming the bad guy, that he just becomes a generic villain, just wanting to get power, and that kind of gets a little disappointing. But overall, his performance was really good. Lastly, the one thing I really dug about this movie was all the references from like certain movies, mainly the movie Big. That was pretty kind of comedic whenever you see like certain parallels to that movie. Even other ones, I've noticed that they had like some parallels with other superhero movies or even comedies and action films. But other than that, well, it was definitely a superhero movie. Okay, I don't want to sound like I hate this movie. I really don't. So the only two things that I have problems with, in my own opinion, one, the jokes in this movie are kind of spoiled throughout the trailers. Now, what I mean to say is like all the good jokes that you see in the commercials and trailers for this movie are pretty much all the good jokes that you see from that. There is a lot of jokes and comedic stuff going all around in this movie that we don't see, but all the best ones was already wasted. So whenever you see like anything funny, it's like, oh, okay, well, I've already seen that in the trailers. Coming into this film, I guess knowing that it's a comedic superhero movie, I was expecting a lot more vibe of like Guardians of the Galaxy. And obviously it's its own thing, so and they're both totally different types of movies, but yeah, it was a comedy. It's just I felt like the jokes were already overdone. And second, I don't know, the movie wasn't as engaging as I thought. Now, what I mean to say is like when I came into Aquaman, I was surprised how like visually stunning that movie was. The only problem I had with that movie was that it was really long. But this movie, the way it was presented as a comedy, I was expecting like Spider-Man Homecoming and stuff. And in which case, this movie also copies the end credits for the cast verbatim, like Spider-Man Homecoming, which isn't a bad copy, I suppose. I mean, it doesn't even matter. It doesn't really affect the overall movie. But the fact is, you see what they're trying to replicate, and they do, but it's just not as funny. I don't know. I'm going to sound like a Marvel fanboy, and all the DC people are going to hate me.
Sorry this film isn't like the MCU, okay? They're trying really hard to keep up with the big leagues.
Well, whatever. Then again, I'm just being a nitpicky person, and maybe I am a Marvel fanboy, but I don't know. I didn't hate this movie. I thought it was pretty good. It's not that amazing, but it was actually an overall fun movie. I probably would have just waited until $5 Tuesday, but yeah, it was good. I give it like a 6 out of 10. That doesn't mean I hate it. I just thought it was okay. If you're into DC and into comedy movies, and I guess you don't really have anything to watch this. But then again, this is just my opinion. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys. And I don't know, have a good night. I don't know. Later.
So What did you think about the movie?
I love the movie, although the ending was quite horrendous. I mean, it's kind of like we don't know if Superman's going to be back. Just the face up here. Just show me the face. I'll take the mustache even.